Hey, it's a fact. Use cheesy sales lines and the only prospects you'll attract will be rats. But what do you think is the cheesiest sales line ever? Welcome back, everyone, to our 5-minute sales training. I'm Jeff Shore. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and the like button if you don't mind. Your engagement helps us to get these weekly lessons in front of even more salespeople. We really appreciate it. Today, we're going to talk about cheesy sales lines. In fact, why don't you pause the video right now and just put your favorite bad, cheesy sales line in the comments below. I could use some laughs. I think you're a creative group. This could be fun. All right, so here's the deal. My wife and I just bought a car. Now, look, I could tear apart the entire sales presentation from the 3 different dealerships that we went to and our experience. I'm sure you do the same thing when you're out shopping. I'm not going to do that here. The last thing I would ever do is point out the flaws in the sales presentation of others. Okay, maybe just this one time. I have a fundamental issue with so many sales presentations that are based so much on what the customer is moving to that they don't really understand what the customer is coming from. This is the plight of so many salespeople. It's all about the product, but it's not really about the understanding. And I think we need to get clear on the idea that no one is moving to anything unless they're moving from something first. But here's the thing that really got me aggravated in my car buying situation. It's the exact same cheesy line used by 2 different salespeople. Now, I only went to 3 dealerships, but I heard the same line twice. Now, before I tell you what it is, you need to understand something. It's our geeky philosophical phrase of the day, and it is plausibility theory.
There are some really big words in here. I hope you have a dictionary with you when you read it.
Plausibility theory. And what I mean by that is that when we are listening to a message, we are always listening through a filter. And the filter asks the question, is this plausible? Is this reasonable? Does this make sense? And if something's being explained to me by, for example, a salesperson, and it doesn't seem plausible, then the credibility of the salesperson is now called into play. So now let me tell you. Here's the exact same sentence uttered by 2 different salespeople at 2 different car dealerships. And this was the line. Well, I'm already selling this car at a loss. 2 different people told me they were selling the car at a loss. Now, I just got to tell you something. I don't know a lot about the car business, right? But I can tell you this. You can't sell your product at a loss and expect to make money. We're selling at a loss. Are you going to make it up in volume? It doesn't make sense. Let's just assume for a moment that the statement is actually true. It isn't. But even if it were true, I would still recommend that it should not be used. Why? Because it violates that plausibility theory. It doesn't seem plausible that you can sell this car at a loss. Can I make a suggestion here? Have an honest conversation with your peers. Just rap with your peers for a while and brainstorm through those lines that just don't pass the sniff test.
Slider. You stink.
You know, we learn better in community, so huddle up with your cohorts and talk about it. Now, we'll also be having this conversation over at Sales 365. If you haven't joined that community yet, you can do so at sales365.io. The link is right here in the description below. I mean, after all, you don't want to be that person. Look, let's leave the cheese for the rats. Hey, thanks for watching the 5-minute sales training. Don't forget, leave your best or worst sales line that you've ever heard in the comments below. And until next time, learn more to earn more.